Comprehensive Assessment of Spoken Language by Mary Margaret Robbins and Aaron Moore.
The Comprehensive Assessment of Spoken Language is also known as the CASL. It was written by Elizabeth Caro Woolfolk, and it was published by Pearson Assessments in Bloomington, Minnesota in 1999. The total cost of this test is $497, and that includes the test manual, the norms book, the test books, and the record forms. Below is a link to give you the information about pricing.
The CASL is used with people from 3 years to 21 years 11 months. The battery of tests is designed to measure comprehension, expression, and retrieval in the categories of lexical or semantic, syntactic, supralinguistic, and pragmatic. The CASL can be administered, scored, and interpreted by anyone who is involved in language, educational, or psychological testing, and who have graduate level training in the use of individually administered assessment instruments.
The CASL has several different subtests. One is the comprehension of basic concepts, another is antonyms, another is synonyms, and sentence completion and idiomatic language are also subtests.
The following are also subtests of the CASL: syntactic construction, paragraph comprehension of syntax, grammatical morphemes, sentence comprehension of syntax, and grammaticality judgment.
These are also subtests of the CASL: non-literal language, meaning from context, inference, ambiguous sentences, and pragmatic judgment.
The testing materials include the test manual, the norms book, the test book that you administer the test with, and it comes with 3 self-standing easels, and there are also 2 record forms for 2 different age groups. One is for clients age 3 to 6, and the other is for age 7 to 21.
These are sample test items. Item 1, you would show the client a picture and ask him to point to the big dog. Another is that you would ask the client to finish the sentence using one word. For example, you would say, "In order to start the car, Dad must turn the," and the client would fill in the blank for that sentence. Another example is to have the client tell you if the sentences mean the same thing. For example, the boy watched TV after supper, and when supper was over, the boy watched TV.
The scoring procedures have 6 types of scores to determine the client's performance. You have the raw score, the scaled score, the percentile rank, the normal curve equivalent, the Stanine, and test age equivalents.
It also provides an index score by combining all of the subtests, and it gives this index score in specific areas, and the scores on the core subtest determine a global measure of the client's oral language skills.
The normative data was the target sample was 2,750 subjects, but they only used 1,700 as the actual sample. The sample included people between the ages of 3 years to 21 years 11 months. The inclusion criterion for the normative data included gender, race, geographic region, and socioeconomic level. The socioeconomic level was based on the mother's education level.
They also had 5 major special education categories that they included when they standardized this sample. One was specific learning disability, another was speech or language impairments, mental retardation and emotional disturbance were other special education categories, and the final was considered other impairments.
This picture just shows what core tests are used for each age range. As you can see, as the client gets older, there are more subtests. It ranges from 3 tests to 5 tests. And there are also optional supplementary tests that can also be administered with these.
So the pros of the CASL, one is that there is no reading or writing required. The client is only asked to respond verbally or non-verbally. This test has strong reliability and validity. It also covers a wide age range from 3 years to 21 years 11 months, so it can be administered to several different age groups. Another pro of the CASL is that it is easy to administer and it doesn't require any additional materials. And also, they included such a large and inclusive normative sample, which is also a pro.
With pros comes cons. The testing time is a con. Depending on the age of the client and the core tests that are being administered, the testing time can range from 17 to 59 minutes. Personality, temperament, mood, language ability, relationship with the examiner, and the examiner's testing style also affects this testing time. Another con is there has been no revision since 1999, and that was almost 16 years ago. Primarily, auditory pattern recognition is also a con.
So our rationale for choosing the comprehensive assessment of spoken language is that we can use this test with a variety of clients. For example, we could administer this test to a client who has delayed language, oral language disorders, aphasia, or a client who has dyslexia.
And this is the end of our presentation.